Hey everyone, welcome back. It's Brock and Abigail. We're continuing our Mark series, and today we're in chapter 1, verses 40 through 45. And today is all about a guy who is, well, kind of the ultimate outcast. I mean, someone that society had totally given up on. But then he has this encounter with Jesus that literally changed everything. Just stop and think about this for a sec. What if nobody could ever touch you again? No more high fives with your friends, no hugs from your parents, not even a fist bump. It's like you've been ghosted by the entire world. How would that even feel? Well, that's exactly where our story begins.
Okay, so to really get why this story hits so hard, we have to understand what being a leper meant back in those days. It was so much more than just being sick. It was basically a social death sentence. Now, a lot of us think leprosy was just some gnarly skin thing, right? But it was actually way worse. It was an infection that attacked your nerves, and that meant you couldn't feel pain. Now, you might think, hey, no pain, no problem. But no. Imagine breaking a bone or getting a huge cut or burning yourself and not even realizing it. Those injuries would just get worse and worse because you couldn't feel that something was wrong.
And on top of that physical stuff, you were basically just like a smudge in the social system. You were forced out of your town, away from your family, banned from your community. It's like being kicked out of the group chat and then having everyone you know block you permanently. And here's the most brutal part. The law actually required you to tear your own clothes and yell out, "Unclean, unclean," if anyone got near you. Can you even imagine the shame? Having to literally announce your own brokenness to the world every single day? This guy was living in total hopelessness.
But this story isn't just about a physical disease. The Bible does this cool thing where it uses these real-world intense problems to paint a picture of a spiritual one, a sickness that honestly we all deal with. And the comparison here is really similar. Just like leprosy decreases your body's physical sensitivity, the Bible says that sin decreases our heart's spiritual sensitivity. We actually stop being sensitive to what's right and wrong. We start doing things that are actually hurting us and pushing us away from God. And sometimes we don't even realize the damage that's being done.
So try to picture this guy. He's totally alone, totally hopeless, and then he sees Jesus. He's probably heard the rumors, the stories about this guy healing people. And for the first time in maybe years, he feels a tiny spark of hope. So he decides to take a huge, massive risk.
Now, pay close attention to his words. Mark 1:40 says, "A man with leprosy came and knelt in front of Jesus, begging to be healed. 'If you are willing, you can heal me and make me clean,' he said." He doesn't say, "if you can heal me." He says, "if you are willing, you can heal me." This guy had absolutely zero doubt that Jesus had the power. His real question was about Jesus's heart. He was basically asking, "Look, Jesus, I know you're strong enough, but are you good enough? Are you kind enough? Do you actually care about a mess like me?"
And Jesus' answer is one of the most powerful moments in the entire Bible. It's more than just words. It's an action that completely shatters everyone's expectations. Verse 41 says, "Moved with compassion, Jesus reached out and touched him. 'I am willing,' he said, 'be healed.'" The very first thing the Bible tells us is that Jesus was moved with compassion. Before he said anything, before he did anything, he felt this man's pain deeply. He looked right past the sickness, right past the uncleanliness, and saw a human being who was just completely broken and alone. And then Jesus looks him right in the eye and answers his deepest, most terrifying question. He says, "I am willing." He doesn't just show his power, he shows his love. He shows his desire to make things right. And then he says, "Be healed." And in that instant, the man's world is turned upside down.
And as he says this, he does the unthinkable. He reached out his hand and he touched him. We gotta let that sink in for a second. Nobody would have touched this guy for years. It was against the law. Touching a leper would make you unclean too, both physically and spiritually. Jesus could have just healed him with a word from a distance, but he didn't. He chose to heal him with a touch.
That touch sent a powerful message. When Jesus touches our mess, he doesn't get dirty. We get clean. His goodness, his holiness, his power, it is so much stronger than any sickness we could ever have, physical or spiritual. He's not afraid of our brokenness. But hold on, this story isn't over yet. Getting cured was obviously amazing, but Jesus was after something bigger. He didn't just want to fix the man's skin. He wanted to restore his entire life.
So Jesus gives him this list of instructions that might sound kind of random to us, but this was actually the official legal process to be declared clean again. It was like getting a signed doctor's note that you could show everyone to prove you were healthy healthy and could rejoin society. And that is the whole point. See, Jesus wasn't just doing a magic trick. He was giving this man his life back. Sending him to the priest was the ticket he needed to go home, to hug his family for the first time in forever, to get a job, to hang out with his friends. Jesus didn't just want him cured. He wanted him to be completely whole again.
So let's break that down. The leper story is our story. We all have that spiritual sickness called sin, and it isolates us from God. But Jesus is willing to reach out and touch our mess, not just to forgive us, but to totally restore us and give us a brand new life through him. And this life, it's eternal. So the story proves it. Jesus is powerful enough, and more importantly, he is willing enough to heal and restore anybody who comes to him. That part's not in question. The only question left is for us. Are we willing to ask? Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next time.